Dobro jutro, good morning, and welcome in our studio in the program Ljubljana for You. It is a great pleasure for us, tourist guides, to present to you Ljubljana and its service in its best. Of course, every day there are plenty of events. There are quite a lot of restaurants. There are also a lot of interesting sites, so many things to do. It was quite a difficult and quite a challenge to see who is going to be tonight's guests. Namely, we invited Druga violina restaurant, which is not only a restaurant but also a kind of a cultural center. Anna, she's going to present Druga violina to all of us. Dobro jutro, Anna.
Dobro jutro, Mateja. Hello to all your viewers.
Yeah. Kako si?
Oh, I'm fine. A little bit camera shy, but okay, no problem.
No, we'll break the ice. Don't worry about that. So Anna will present to us today Druga violina. This is the brochure over here. We have it. And the Druga violina is a very special restaurant. Anna, what kind of institution is running this restaurant?
Yeah, I guess you could really say that Druga violina is something special, because the name Druga violina actually in translation means second violin. Mm-hmm. We are a part of institution, Center za varstvo delo in usposabljanje Dolfke Boštjančič na Igu. This is our base center for people with disabilities. And we opened Druga violina 5 years ago, now as an opportunity for them to get a way of a different kind of employment, and this has been actually quite a long road for our director, Dr. Valeria Božan, who has been our director for 30 years working in the center, and through the years I guess they have been thinking a lot about how to include also people with disabilities in different forms of work, not only that they stay maybe in some kind of closed environment, but also that they have better opportunities for different kinds of works where they can get employed after they finish school or even during, and get new knowledges and new skills. And this is why the idea slowly started to progress, I guess, inside the center, how to find such a place, such an environment. And when an opportunity arose, this was dealing with location, where to find such a place, and also I guess the idea that we also got from Europe, other European countries, to open a restaurant. And when the opportunity came to have a location in the center of Ljubljana, which is absolutely wonderful, then I guess the center really went on with this idea. So this is why Druga violina is special, because it is not a restaurant employing.
Especially, I would like to point out
people
here that the center of your institution, it's actually like 15 minutes drive from the city center. Mm-hmm.
It's close by.
On the countryside, yes, on the countryside near Ljubljana's marshes. So your adults who are visiting the institution on daily basis, they actually didn't have so much opportunity to get in touch with, let's say, ordinary people. No? So that's why you really, as you said, you were happy when you got this place. Here we have a nice picture of the place of Druga violina. It's on Stari Trg, Old Square. Maybe you see behind there is a building of the music school. So that's why you included also music in your program, don't you think so?
Yeah, I guess maybe at this point we could say something about the actual name, Druga violina. Mm-hmm. It has all these different connotations that build together this name. One of them, of course, is the connection with our boys and girls who work there, people with disabilities, because it is similar like when an instrumental orchestra playing, they cannot exactly be the same as the first violin, but they are a second violin and also the very, very important part of the orchestra, which cannot really function without them. So even though they are a little bit different, they are still very, very important for the whole piece. If you want to do any music well, quality, then you have to have also the second violins. And this is why we are there with them, supporting them. But there is, like you said, this connection with music, because the Academy of Music is just across our restaurant, and we are also a part of this beautiful Gornji Trg, where there is a fountain, where also Prešeren's, our greatest poet's Povodni mož, was where the story is actually happening also. And so this is all together connected. And in the near vicinity of the restaurant, there was also the workshop of Master Demšar, who is a violin maker, and he was also a very regular guest with us, gave us a lot of sketches of the violins and photos of his work, and this is why the violin also came in place.
Actually, this picture is a bit big, but I hope that here in this corner you're going to see some sketches of the Master Demšar. Because Master Demšar, he was so impressed with the story of the name. Like, you know, we are all an orchestra. There is the first violin, which should be like the best in our society. But this orchestra does not work if there is not a second violin as well. So he gave you as a gift all these sketches of the violins and drawings. And you have them all around the restaurant. I found that really very nice.
Yes, they are actually, because they are a part of this process of making violins. And this is actually a very good picture, because the violin you see on the wall was actually also a gift from his workshop. And it is the real violin representing us also.
Yeah. Well, now we've just seen also the picture of your colleagues in the kitchen. So you then involved them everywhere, in all fields, in the kitchen and in the service. Yeah,
some usually they work with us as service assistants.
Yes.
But some of them, when they have a wish or some kind of preference also to help in the kitchen, we give them this opportunity, because it is very, very good for their confidence. And if maybe on some day they feel that they would work better in the kitchen, they help the cooks, and there is many opportunities in this way.
And I remember what was also really a challenge. You invited a lot of prominent Slovenian chefs to come to your restaurant, to your kitchen, and they taught your employees how to do their specialities.
Yes, of course, because we really like to be included in as wider society as possible, and this is why it was never meant that Druga violina would be this isolated place.
Yes.
We are very open to all kinds of cultural, culinary, different experiences, and all these very important chefs like JB and Josef Huseli, who came to Violina, gave this contribution to our quality and to our work, and also to the, I guess, wider recognition of the restaurant.
True.
And because really we really want to emphasize the openness. This is, I guess, a part of our nature.
Yes, we can see also here a picture when you are getting ready for work.
Yeah.
So you are very chic with a light green white color combination. So that's how you get ready before you start your work?
This is our boys and girls, our great assistants, of course, who, like all people who come to work, want to be well dressed, want to look good, because this is something that really boosts their confidence, and it gives them comfortable and good feeling about themselves, so they work easily and they feel good about themselves. So
also
it's very important, and because we are a restaurant, of course, we need to have
and I would like to show you also this picture. I like it very much because it shows that you go for quality. so high top. That does not mean that we just support these, let's say, members of the second violin part of the orchestra, but you really go for the high quality service and product.
Exactly. This was always our first aim, especially because we are a little bit different, because we are not per se like any other restaurant.
Yes.
We need to work on the quality very, very hard, and we are really trying to keep it all the time in the service, and this is why we were working a lot with our boys, girls, our service assistants, so that they also got trained and learned a lot about the service, how to greet a guest, serve a guest, and make a guest happy, and really keep this at the very high quality, especially because we are different and we do not want to be a second violin, really.
Yes.
We act as we were the first one.
Is the first one.
Yeah, this is always our goal. So.
Anna, I was thinking that the other day when I was in the restaurant, how challenging your position is, because you are a manager, you work in the service, and then on the other hand, you need to take care of these people as well. I mean, they are not working, let's say, properly. If they don't want to, they just take a break on the side, so you have to take over all the job, or?
Oh, Matea, here I wouldn't say that my work is hard, because it is like any other work.
Okay.
Every worker everywhere tries to do their best, but they also get tired, or someday they also may come to work in a bad mood. But
Yes.
it is amazing that mainly the problem is more with us than with them.
Okay.
Because they are usually so enthusiastic about their work, so happy that they can work, and so very stimulated by the environment, by the work they do.
Yes.
So that usually they are the ones who giving us the positive feedback. You know, even if we are a bit
down?
low, a bit down on one day, they are not so often. So, yeah, but if they get tired, they can have some rest. No problem. It's not so hard. It's very human, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
It's
are
very nice.
open from 8 o'clock in the morning until midnight?
Midnight every day.
So that means that we can get breakfast in your place, we can get
Exactly.
lunch, and we can get, of course, also dinner and all in between. I notice also that your menus for lunch are very broad, I mean very diverse.
Yeah, for the breakfast, no problem. We have some omelette, toasts, and some things that anybody, especially tourists in the summer, really like to use. But then our lunches start at 11 o'clock, and every day we have 4 menus. Usually the first menu includes some dish with meat and some side dish, a salad.
Yes.
The second dish is usually something to be eaten with a spoon, so to
Yes.
say. It's some kind of a stew, because this is also a very strong part of traditional Slovenian cuisine.
Yes.
Gulash
That's
and
true.
ricet and stuff like
Yes.
dishes like that. And then the third menu is always vegetarian, because we really like to please or have something to offer to people
Yes.
who also
Yeah.
do not eat meat. And the fourth menu is actually a menu specially prepared for people who are either diabetic or celiac, people who like to eat gluten-free
Yes.
food also, or have some kind of different food limitations. And this is something you can always also get a la carte in our restaurant, because all our chefs are really well trained in diabetic
Yes.
cooking, because of our boys and girls in Druga.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can get all that, and the a la carte menu is really, it has an emphasis on traditional Slovenian
Yes.
food. So this is what we really like to offer.
Today you brought here gibanica. Ne?
Yeah.
Over here we have gibanica, which is one very traditional meal. We can
Yeah, as
lift
far
it up
as
a bit.
the 3 plates I have with me today. Oh, will you hold it?
Yes, I will.
The 3 plates we have with me today are actually traditional Slovenian desserts.
Yes.
Prekmurska gibanica is a very special layered cake from Prekmurja region, and we have a certificate for that, so we make it as it should be.
It should be.
Yeah. And then the second one is our homemade apple strudel. It is a kind of dessert that tourists maybe don't know so much, but Slovenian people love it very much, because it's a thing that every mother, every grandmother in Slovenia makes, and we make our own. And for tourists, it's maybe sometimes something new, but for Slovenians, it's that
Homey
cozy
feeling.
comfort food that your mother and grandmother made.
And this is another must,
štruklji.
huh?
Yeah, this is also a very special Slovenian traditional food. These three are, the black ones are with buckwheat flour, with walnuts or with cottage cheese, and
Yes.
the white one is a cottage cheese dumpling that can also be used, or is traditionally used also as a side dish. So
Okay.
it can be either salty or as a
Savory
dessert.
or
If you put
as
some
a
sugar on it,
Yeah.
it makes a perfect dessert. So
Anna, I noticed in the summer you can hardly get a table in your restaurant.
yeah, we are very happy about that.
People are even queuing and waiting for your table.
Yeah, well, I guess there is as many tables as we have, but we try to serve them all. But really, our restaurant over these 5 years has just been gaining customers, and a lot of them are tourists, because also the good reviews on the TripAdvisor got people to know
Sure.
about us. And the Slovenians, they also like to come, especially because of our homemade cooking. And
Yeah, but
so,
I think they come also because next to an excellent service, they get very high quality cultural events. Could you tell us just in short what will go on the next few days?
Yeah, no problem, because over these 5 years there has been a lot of events organized by our center in Druga Violina. All the cultural holidays that we have, we try to prepare something to commemorate poet Prešeren, and many different kinds of also poetic recitals, and even the Slovenian musicians are very good friends of us. So Vlado Kreslin and Roken Band and different kinds of musicians came to visit, and are friends also with our children, our users. So yeah, there has been so many. It's even hard to put something around, but for every holiday and every, even Ljubljana's important event, we had something
Actually,
to the
all of them
cultural
are
part.
mentioned on your Facebook, because if you go to Druga Violina Facebook, you're going to see that there are a lot of events also in this festive time in December. And maybe you will get an idea where to go out tonight, tomorrow, or in the days to come. Thank you very much for your attention today, and see you tomorrow morning. Na svidenje.